All right. I suppose we can go ahead and jump into this thing, can't we?
Splish, splash.
Taking a bath. And my PC's tears. I mean, what?
Huh?
How dare you?
What?
What did you say?
But the
I
tears
said
are
I-
what make us stronger.
No, I need to take a bath. So, how dare I be clean? What are you, filthy animal?
You filthy animal.
So I recall saying or hearing somebody say previously, we're just going to exhaust enemies to death with the new call shot rules now. Go for chest blows on everything.
Yeah, let Corvine do the work.
If we keep them, I probably don't even need to take Mate Slayer.
Truth be told, we probably won't, because I didn't realize that they were actually homebrew rules until after I declared that they were we were going to use them.
By the way, that company that made those homebrew rules, Brox is actually playing one of their classes in my game.
I see.
I mean, it's all right. Those rules are just ports from Pathfinder, basically.
I see.
Like pretty
You
much
know.
all of their homebrew rules were ports from Pathfinder.
Including, I assume, the things like uses for skills. Was that by the same company?
That
Or-
might. I have to look that over again. I actually thought that was just more of an extrapolation. Not extrapolation. Extrapolation. It was point is expansion and explanation of what they could be used for.
I believe Total Party Kill Games also gave the bonus spells based off of based off
ability
of
scores.
yeah, which is also a Pathfinder thing, and I think a 3.5 thing as well.
Well,
Yeah,
technically, there's a
and,
3.0 thing. They're the ones that came up with that, as far as I know.
And languages or extra languages based on intelligence.
Yeah.
That was also a 3rd edition convention.
So yeah, Total Party, those TPK rules.
Well, I mean, Pathfinder is basically 3.5.5.
3.5 with a lot
Yeah,
of
it is 3.5.5.
Anyways, I'm actually meant to upload Arizona's character sheet since I'm scrapping it wholesale and doing something completely different.
She's now a wizard.
She's
Hey.
scrappy.
Like, I'm not even entirely sure if her class will say the same, truth be told, because I looked at it, and fighters attack a gajillion times per turn, and while that's technically fitting for a fighting game, what with his combos, she doesn't strike me as the sort of combatant who strikes you like 6 to 8 times within a half a
6
second.
seconds. Does she not?
She only has 2 attacks on her Rekka, so
She strikes more as like she hits you like once or twice, and you just got blown into a wall and probably through it.
Of course, that Rekka takes nowhere near 6 whole seconds. I could see her making up to 8 attacks in 6 seconds or less.
Don't do it.
No, not that again.
3 were bad enough.
All right, for your viewing pleasure, here's the obsolete Arizona character sheet. If you're curious, all right. So let's go ahead and pick up, shall we? Let's play this silly game with talking animals. How deep down the rabbit hole we've all gone.
Those
And yet
don't
how
talk,
cozy and warm it is down here.
The rabbits don't talk, though.
No, not in this setting.
Rabbits never talk.
But
it's sad.
Wolpertingers, those talk, but
Yes, gross.
But don't worry, we'll just find the Discord server for that one book series.
Which one?
the fist.
No, the
Red
That
Bell.
one.
what about the rabbits? Watership Down. There we go. The Watership Down server.
No.
I should probably like read or
but
watch.
I've heard bad things about it.
Yeah, I should probably watch it or read before I make jokes about it, but I'm not so sure I'm ready for that. But anyways, this is not Watership Down. This is Faded Foenum. So let's go ahead and
Even worse.
Welcome to Watership Down.
Welcome to
Oh,
Redwall.
dear. You're all rabbits now. Before
Corvine the
we
warrior.
begin, is there any like
Go
last,
find the law.
before we officially begin? Is there any like last minute things you need to worry about?
Yeah.
What's up?
Book reservation.
You haven't worried about that orb in a long time.
I haven't what? What'd you say? I didn't quite catch what you said. What'd you say?
Here, I'll remember this thing?
Oh dear, I'm scrolling all the way up.
Also,
The
Yeah.
weird black orb. You mean the spider essence?
I mean, you guys never did much. You guys never did much with it, so I never bothered to explain it. But I have the notes on what it does.
Well, it's
As
like
long as you do.
Yeah, you don't
guys-
use predator essence when you don't want to do.
you guys didn't want to use it, so I didn't tell you what it did. Sound logic right there.
It's kind of literally made of what most characters would think of as evil.
Indeed, indeed.
So why would we try to use it?
Do you know
That's
what
like
character
giving
you're
someone the
talking to right
Necronomicon
now?
and being like, "Hey, read this."
Do you know which character you're talking to right now?
Yes, I know which
Lucas,
character I'm talking
he's gonna
to.
put it in his mouth.
Yeah.
No,
To be fair,
say it's not dumb.
I've actually been in a similar situation before where I was playing a very superstitious character. She was a ranger, I believe she was. And she received a gift from a witch. She'd accidentally killed the witch's familiar and made a pair of boots out of it. And then she
And
felt bad. So she resurrected the dead familiar. And the witch gave her a gift. And she was scared to open it and never opened it. And my friend was like, just open it. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, but my character's superstitious. She doesn't know what she thinks is like a huge deal. Like, it's like, it's that she's going to open it and it's going to be a huge game changer kind of thing. And the DM's news was probably like some minor bonus or something like that.
No, turns out it's actually a bum.
Well,
Did you know she was the bombs were her patron?
Yeah, bum. Her patron was the giant bomb in the sky.
So, OC, what the heck archetype is
Taking
the
down
fist?
to all our doom.
yeah, it's a third-party archetype. That's why I'm scrapping it.
Huh.
I was trying to look for archetypes, and I saw archetypes that had 3 PP on them. I was like, I don't know what that means, but whatever. And I basically I found like, oh, this one has a ground pound. Like that's what Arizona does in game. She pounds the ground and knocks you down. This has a level 15 ability that does exactly that. This is perfect. So I just went with it. And then later on, I was like,
Clearly, you should just reflavor a bow and make her a battle master.
so I sat there and
Do a ground pound.
I went back and looked at it. And I was like, oh, 3PP, third party publisher. Ah. Yeah, so that's why I'm throwing her out there because it's like I said, I'm not going to use it.
Guess who this?
I have what that does. Oh, I have too many text documents. I need to combine them.
Also note the health.
What, you need to combine text documents? No.
Well,
It's never happened before.
I know it does. I know one of the things it does. There's another aspect of it I don't remember the exact details of, and that's what's driving me a little bonkers at the moment. What is this? Why is this here? Get out of here. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick up. We last left off the group in front of the Magic Item Guild. Specifically... Oh, I closed the document.
Corvine starts to stuck.
Oh dear.
The Flantorn Guild, as it's called. The name is an amalgamation of the words flame, antler, and horn.
Aha.
Okay.
No one
there's
said it
lots
was.
of-
No one said it was a good amalgamation. It was just an attempt.
So there's lots of sheep and alpaca in this guild. What you're
And you guys had just punched a horse in the face.
Hey, we don't do that collectively. We just wish we did.
And
Oh no, collectively we did because I gave inspiration to do so.
the horse has accepted the feather and the owl as repayment for services rendered, and is headed back into the guild.
Okay.
So then, that puts the proverbial ball in your guys' court. Which I guess begs the question: do you guys wish to leave? Do you wish to get further business here?
Wait.
Danny's job is done.
Can the owl be activated remotely?
Can the owl be activated remotely?
It was an obsidian animal, correct? Or a figurine
Yes,
of power?
it was a figurine of power.
Serpentine owl.
Serpentine owl.
Oh, that's it. Serpentine owl.
Command word.
Hey, you have to speak the command word and throw it.
So then no.
Oh, well, there you go.
Only if someone throws it, then you quickly say the command word while it's being tossed.
I mean, there are magical ways of speaking and moving items from a distance.
From a distance. And then I'm imagining Sai-Hung dropping a figure of wondrous power over a mile away.
Just send Ebony. Speak
Great.
the command word and then throw it.
Theoretically, that is possible.
Well, that said, you were standing outside the market.
And
There's a couple of rich patrons who have arrived at one of the windows and are apparently performing a very expensive transaction. And a few other somewhat wealthy patrons have left this store, apparently with no merchandise. Essentially, the business is carrying on as normal.
Amper? I hate to put you at any more risk, but I don't think I can let him continue to do what he did to you.
Put on a little background music.
You're not considering what I think you are you? Fine.
She looks between the two. What do you think I'm considering?
Amber?
Saya is currently staring at Carvine curiously.
Bai Guang is just trying to remember what the time frame is for infiltrating Gray Sky.
The count.
I trust you, Corvine. Do what you need to do.
She nods.
Wait, but what is it that you need to do?
I see what you're saying. Something.
Go ahead. I'll plug the information once you're done.
Okay. She walks up to Sai and whispers, though probably loud enough for the party to hear. I think I need to take the spell from him.
What?
What do you mean? Why?
Why? Because it's not fair for him to keep doing what he's doing.
I don't know if that's going to help. If it's something he's... Do you think it's something he made himself?
She nods.
Yeah, in that case, then he could just make another... Write it again?
Yes, but if others have it, then they can provide the same services he does.
We have the spell and a person who it's affecting right here. We could probably figure out how to do it ourselves.
It would be more difficult.
Yes, but we wouldn't...
Very difficult. Daddy, consider this. We didn't detect the magic on Amber before this.
You're right. You're right about that.
I'm sorry, but I've made my decision. I think this is the best course.
Alright. Alright.
I agree with Carvine.
So,
Alright, what are you guys gonna do? Oh, as a side note, the council, the council of the noble families, will convene in 2 days. That was when it was suggested you guys infiltrate the house.
yes. Infiltrate House Graysky in 2 days. So, with that, I think Corvine's gonna find, a place near this guild that nobody is around.
Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Before she goes, Sai's going to start following and place a hoof on her.
Yes.
If you're doing what I think you're doing, let me take care of this.
By yourself?
I've done this many times before. Many times, more than I can count.
Let me come with, please.
Alright.
Hmm.
Then no
Did I
one
cast
else.
Did I cast any spells today?
I don't know.
Have you used enhanceability on anyone?
I think I'm about to.
I remember you doing that during the RP, but that obviously was a while ago.
Different day. Yeah.
Yeah, that was during the month break.
Okay, so I'll roll the stealth as well.
But no, I don't believe you've cast any spells.
I think the last spell I remember you casting was when we were still at Winterblood.
Yeah. All right. So, Corvine gets Cat's Grace.
Which is advantage on dex checks.
Dexterity.
Yeah, okay.
And it lasts for an hour.
Go for that crit.
British.
So yeah, you can.
Crit fish on yourself.
I
Hook
whisper
the line
good
and-
luck.
Hook the line and cast the line. See if you
I
can-
might. I don't know how long my bardic inspiration lasts. I think it's a minute.
No.
Good job.
23.
All right. I presume you guys are then heading into the. I presume your plan is to sneak in and steal his spellbook, correct?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. While the two of them do that, does anybody else in the group want to do anything?
Well, actually, I just remembered that I don't know if he would, but Bai Guang can just straight up cast invisibility, and it lasts for an hour on up to 3 targets.
Oh,
I mean, nobody knows you have this, I think. Because I don't think
I've
you got
cast
it.
it on Amber.
Ah.
It's just never been necessary since then. Well, it wasn't necessary at the time either, but
Okay.
aw. Well, I guess they get to be support more. That's fine. This is something that is fine with me. So, but that's.
or
Like I
it
said,
doesn't-
well,
Does Bagwan say anything, or?
I mean, it doesn't seem like they need it right now. Although, if asked, he would offer. And if they're already stealthing, he's probably like, "Where'd they go?" With that 23 and 30.
So like I said, while they are gallivanting off, does anybody else in the group want to do anything in particular?
I'm waiting for someone to roll a 20 so I can put it next to my stuff.
All right, so I'm not hearing anything, so let's go ahead and move on to Saya and Corvine then. So you arrive. Let me take a quick look at something.
Bai Guang, I'll just say Bai Guang has no particular plans or needs until we do the infiltration. Oh, other than, I guess, ask Snowdawn about that flame tongue.
One more time. Sorry, I was reading something.
The flame tongue. That's the only thing he wants between here and the invasion of Graysky.
Gotcha. Okay.
Unless that's just going to come later, since we still have at least 1 level to go.
I could be. How much money do I have? I think I have a lot, right?
Probably.
I don't know how much I wrote down though. That's the problem.
No, unfortunately, I can't tell you how much you have at that juncture. I know you guys did some crazy stuff with your money.
Oh well.
Like you.
I don't need a cloak of displacement anyway.
Like you said, you had rather than collect a payment from House Ball, you just had them fund your wedding.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
good one.
fine.
All right. So you guys managed to find a small, quiet area where there, at least for a brief moment, there is nobody. The part of the city you're in is pretty busy, particularly this time of day, but you managed to find a quiet corner for long enough. Sorry. Corbin, are you changing? Are you putting on your
Yes.
disguise or okay?
Mm-hmm. Putting
And,
on the mask.
Sorry, are you doing anything in particular as far as like preparation is concerned?
Well, as she's been required to have a hood on this whole time, she's just gonna take it off.
Fair enough.
Oh, Tangentially, Baiguang has previously cast invisibility on Corvine.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But it's
Okay,
okay.
then maybe I would have asked.
All right.
Well,
In which case,
No
getting-
silent image booth.
I mean, why not invisibility and advantage on dexterity?
fair enough.
especially since invisibility breaks if I do anything wrong, right?
Well, if you attack or cast a spell.
Yeah.
So opening doors and picking up books is probably just okay.
Cactus, you were about to say something?
No.
Okay.
Except
Well-
glory to everyone.
All right,
Glory
so
to the-
you guys.
Glory
Well, the
to
building
Arstotzka.
itself is more or less stands alone, as described before. I believe it was 2 stories. There's a few reception windows up front, a main entrance. You see a few windows on the upper floor and a back door, and a few windows on the backside of the building as well.
Okay. And we are the invisible.
And the roof is large enough that it's actually 2 separate roofs that are, peaked. It's
Okay.
a fairly wide building.
Perception. Take a look through those windows, see if I can find the guy. I don't know, what do we find?
All right. As you glance through the windows, you see scenes of happy does frolicking through fields of flowers.
Wait, what did you say?
As you look through the windows, you see scenes of happy does frolicking through fields of flowers.
What?
Seems normal.
Sorry, what?
Okay. So, that's a illusion, almost certainly.
Yeah, I rolled a disbelief.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah. So,
You can do that.
I mean, wouldn't that be an investigation?
with it.
Usually.
To counter minor illusion, it's investigation.
Is this anything like that?
I mean, also things like silent image and phantasmal force.
Let's see. I'm gonna use investigation first because the expertise.
All right. Yeah, you recognize that you're looking at an illusion. It's still there, but you just know it's fake. And it's slightly translucent, but you can't make out a lot of details beyond it. Same thing for you, Corvine.
Corvine is conflicted.
On the hand, you really want to believe what you see, but your senses tell you otherwise.
It looks so real.
No one. Windows don't lie. Who would do that?
Do people do that? Do they fill the windows with lies?
Thank you for using the scenery channel.
So we can't actually see through the illusion. We can just tell it is an illusion.
And it's slightly translucent, but you can't see much beyond that.
Okay.
Let's see. What do I have here? Alright, I don't have something for that. Oh well.
Can I roll an Arcana
You can.
to tell if there's like an alarm or something? Since there's an illusion.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
15.
I just gotta look up Arcana real quick. I think you can use 15, you said?
Yeah.
Still got Bardic Inspiration, by the way.
No, I never gave it.
Oh.
You can't tell if there's an alarm spell in place, but it's probably logical to assume that if they put illusions in their windows, then probably
Sai, what should we do?
Sea stars is not the same modifier for psi, so
I'm aware.
He is the awarest.
The illusions are easy to deter from what is inside, like a curtain. They do not want us going in. Are there windows on the other sides of the building, and do they have the same illusion?
Yes, there are windows on all sides of the building. On the back side, there are windows on both the top and bottom story. On the sides, there are only windows in the top story, and then of course there are windows in the front of the building as well. The windows in the front of the building just have lovely images and wares for display. The ones on the bottom, anyways, have like this is for sale and whatever have you, with with beautiful curtains drawn on the top ones. The ones on the sides, you see other illusions, not the same illusion, but other illusions. For example, one side of it, you see a beautiful forest glade looking through the windows. On the other side, you see a lovely winter clearing, complete with fresh snow.
I can tell you where he's not.
So, on the bright side, all of the illusions are very pleasant to look at.
That's bright, trust me.
So,
if it has anything to do with the illusions, he's not where the snow is.
and while you guys are ruminating and thinking, the back door to the establishment opens up. And,
Corvine. Oh, wait. Who outsteps?
Outsteps our erstwhile spellcaster, who appears to have a satchel attached to his side. He steps out, closes the door behind him, and begins trotting off, whistling softly to himself.
Closes the door behind him, but what if I wanted to slip through the door?
Does he have the book on him?
Well, like I said, aside from his incredibly garish clothing, he has a small satchel attached to his side.
Oh wait, Arcana check.
But you could do an investigation too, probably.
I don't know what the heck. I don't know what the heck that is.
It appears to be a satchel.
Uh-huh.
Corvine, are you getting it?
Probably made of leather plant, because leather doesn't exist in fact.
Leather leaf.
Yes, there we go, leather leaf. Ostrich, as I like to call it, but it's leather leaf.
Okay, so, Corvine will, walk up to him while invisible.
You say while invisible?
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you want me to roll for stealth or no?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. Advantage. Huh. I am invisible though. What does...
Okay. Noticing this, I was going to graceful leap to the other side of him and make sure he doesn't get away.
Alright. As you approach, perhaps the fact that you're invisible kind of gets to your head, or maybe it was a simple mistake. Who knows? What you do know is as you approach, you're suddenly very aware of how echoey your hooves are on the cobblestone as you go down the street.
No, it's the scraping of claws against the stone.
Fair enough. Which alerts him, and he turns around, looking a little surprised, and actually sort of missing Saya as she leaps over and lands behind him. His eyes squint for a moment, staring directly at Corvine, but not at her. Like he's staring where she is, but you can tell he can't quite see. Narrows his eyes a bit.
Okay.
And then you see him reach into his satchel and
Corvine's gonna try to do something about that then.
All right.
So I get advantage on all dex things, right?
Yes.
Ability checks.
So what about skill checks?
Those are ability checks.
Okay. So, if he's reaching for his satchel, then Corvine's gonna try and cut it off of him. With ice.
Try to figure out this being an attack roll or an ability check.
This sounds
Sleight
like
of
a
hand.
sleight of hand. Of that, but you can't do it because you don't have hand. I'm sorry.
You know what? That's actually a fair point. Give me a sleight of hoof check with advantage.
Ice of hand.
You did
Because
it.
I did buy daggers.
Also, that 20 doesn't count. How could you? I can't grab that.
All right. So he reaches into his pouch, and a sliver of ice comes flying forward and cuts the rope, causing him to land to the ground.
It's attached to my hoof.
And what was it, like a grappling hook, or were you just like?
No, it was like we were kind of close to each other, right? Because I was trailing behind him.
There was a little bit of distance between the two of you. You heard you coming from essentially a mile away.
A mile away.
Not a mile away, but basically a fair distance. We'll say like 3 squares.
A
Yeah, that's
proverbial mile.
enough that I could walk up and cut it.
Fair enough. Sorry.
Could even
15
move at
pup
half
lengths.
speed.
As it falls to the ground, he yelps and
Oh, yeah, but would that be considered an attack for invisibility?
I mean, are you
Something was cutting something?
I said I gave it to you as a sleight of hoof.
Okay. It's just a gray area, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so essentially you cut it, it lands to the ground, he lets out a yelp and jumps to the side a bit. And begins muttering some words under his breath. Give me a second. Back.
So unless I need to make any save or roll, I'm gonna take the entire pouch and run away.
What's it called? No, that's not. Is it?
What you looking for?
No, shoot, what's it called? Cactus posted it earlier. What was it? That's what it's called. There we go. Okay.
What I posted earlier?
You posted fairy fire is what it was.
Yeah. Here, I can do it again.
No, I found it. I was just trying to remember the name of it.
Well, I said I can do it again. That means I will, no matter
Fair enough.
if you want it or not. I'll do it against your will.
It is non-optional.
All right, dexterity saving throw, please, Corbine.
Attack save.
Sadly,
Yes.
no advantage.
Yeah. It's not an ability check. It's
But
I
still,
think I passed.
All right. He utters a few words, and okay, and the area around you suddenly lights up with we'll say violet. Yeah, everything is suddenly around you is covered in a violet light, except for you.
Yes, because I have managed to dodge the ability.
you have managed to dodge a light.
So here's Sai's response to that. She's going to find a good hiding spot, and from there, she's going to throw an ice knife not toward them, but away from them, so that it won't hit them when it explodes.
But it will explode close enough to him to panic him, I'm assuming.
Exactly.
distract,
Gotcha.
And disorient him enough for Corbine to run.
misdirect.
Gotcha. All right. Let me roll a saving throw for this guy. All right then.
What do you mean it's saving throw?
Well, you said you're causing an explosion near him to disorient him, right?
Then
Not
that's what
hitting
it would
him.
normally do right there.
Yeah, it's not to hit him.
No, I know. The idea was to see if the distraction worked.
Okay.
That's what he was making a saving throw for. And it appears
would
it
actually
worked.
be 16.
So yes, Coraline takes the entire satchel and starts running away.
Jingle, jingle.
And as she does so, he just sort of stands there. Well, the explosion happens. He jumps and he looks around. And he just sort of looks flabbergasted for a minute. Blinks. Looks around again.
Cast blink. Oh no.
And he just sort of, almost in a slight daze, just sort of slowly starts making his way back towards the guild.
There we go.
Okay, so Corvine's gonna open the satchel.
All right.
As soon as she's away from, out of sight, basically.
So unsurprisingly, perhaps unsurprisingly, the satchel's a bit larger inside than it appears on the outside. And inside,
Oh, no. I almost caused it to explode items out everywhere.
inside you find a tent, a bedroll, several days worth of supplies, some water, some cooking utensils. You find 2 books, and you find the owl and the.
Okay, so the books. I've been trained in magic, so do any of them seem magical? Like any of the writings inside of them?
Opening the one book, it appears one of them is something akin to a journal. It's not a proper journal. It's just more of like a random jotting down of thoughts here and there. It's pretty chaotic, and there's not a lot of order to it. And the other one looks like it started off as a spell book and then kind of became the same thing. It was just random tidbits of this here and there.
So, are any of these spells ritual spells?
At the start of it, you find essentially it's sort of a spell book. Apparently this guy isn't very good at writing spells. They're pretty incoherent. And if they would, if you corrected them, they might work as spells, but you recognize them at... Well, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
I believe.
Believe.
I believe.
All right.
That's okay.
I'm a believer.
You recognize a few of them as first level spells, as it were, or shall we say, fairly typical spells. Nothing too complicated.
Rudimentary.
To be a little less meta about it. But beyond that, there doesn't seem to be much else here. Other than at one point in one of the books, at one point in one of the books, you see a line that's been circled with a question mark next to it saying change of sex ?
So that's on one of these spells?
No, it's just it's a random spot on a random page in one of the books. And it appears to be there isn't much around it that's offers context.
Okay.
Telling us that's his notebook.
So Corvine's gonna... She's gonna start putting the stuff back. Except... she's gonna hesitate with the owl. She decides to awaken it.
Quick question. Where did you go to pull the stuff out and take a look? Did you just find a random corner?
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
by now, Sai has reconvened with her.
Alright then.
She just found a place where he probably wouldn't be chasing her to.
And as you're putting the stuff away, Sai, you become aware that several beings have popped into existence behind you.
Hold on.
Caroline? Caroline.
Don't call her by her name.
She's
So
not
by-
here.
Oh,
Back then.
yes.
She motions behind her.
So when you said Baines appeared behind him, what do you mean exactly?
So, standing not too far behind Sae is the spellcaster in question, and nearby are a couple of rather. One is a rather expert-looking spellcaster who sort of exudes lots of magical power, and a couple of bruises nearby.
Okay.
He then speaks up. Excuse me, I think that's my property you've stolen.
Should note that Sae is visible. Corvine is probably still invisible.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's speaking to Sae, but his eyes are sort of drifting a little bit, like on the satchel, and then back to Sae. It appears he's not fully convinced that Sae is by herself, but he's not entirely positive.
Sai takes the satchel from Corvine real quick and turns around with a smile. Sai, is it now? And anything that Corvine currently has currently cannot be put back in the satchel. Well, she gracefully leaps backward as far as she can. You will have to come get it.
The individual with who looks a bit fancier sort of waves a hand and appears next to Sae. It's not wise to steal from a magic guild.
I saw that coming.
Should I? Oh, that is really tempting right now. Yeah, sure, why not? Just this once.
Person.
I tried that on a spellcaster once.
He is a wizard, so he might fail.
You're casting this on the individual next to you, or
On the guy that just appeared next to me.
All right, lady, by the way.
Lady.
Yes, she blinks a couple of times. You're an audacious one, aren't you?
Don't say that.
The spell didn't work.
Yeah. She's gonna activate this and leap away again.
I'm pretty sure the leap requires a short rest.
Movement. No, I have 4 of them, and then it's a rest.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
This is my 3rd one.
And as she leaps, the figure appears next to her again. Please, don't make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Also, that 3rd leap
So Corvine's gonna walk up
brought
to
her closer to the rest of the party.
Gotcha. And Corvin, what are you doing?
walking up to the horse.
All right. Well, you're still invisible, so he sort of looks around, and he tries casting Fairy Fire yet again. Another dexterity saving throw.
Can I do a stealth check instead, since...
Fair enough. All right, then. He appears to be unaware of your approach.
Okay, so what is he doing right now?
He is looking the direction let's say as he turns around to the two he turns around to the others and he's like, well, hopefully that will be taken care of. I don't think your services are needed here. You may go back now. The others depart. And he just sort of turns around and thinks himself.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
So they've left, right? So I'll wait till they actually leave. The guards.
Yeah. As he leaves, he turns around and muses to himself, sort of like a, what should I do now? Kind of look on his face. And he sort of awkwardly begins moving in one direction, then stops and sort of moves in the other direction, and moves in another direction, and the guards disappear around the corner. And he still seems unsure of what to do with himself at the moment.
Okay. Then, he's gonna hear a voice. I want you to answer 2 questions now. How do you do that spell? And what is gonna happen when that wizard catches up to my friend?
Another dexterity save, please, as another fairy fire goes firing right. All right. More beautiful violet everywhere. He looks around a bit surprised. He's like, who are you, and why do you want to know?
Who I am doesn't matter right now. I may tell you later.
The shadow? The shadow.
What matters is answering my questions first.
What were they again?
Oh, how do you cast that spell? And what's gonna happen when that wizard catches up to my friend?
The first one, he says, why do you want to know?
Let's just say it's of value.
Well, being the proud sorcerer that I am, it's stuck in my head. And as for your friend, well, if she cooperates, nothing. All I want are my items back. If she doesn't, then she will probably end up in jail. After all, I'm leaving, Rain. My business here is concluded.
Sorcerer.
Not even a wizard.
So you don't make spells, you are just gifted with them.
Well, I have to make spells. Well, okay. Most of them I've just sort of picked up, being the fabulously talented individual that I am. That one, though, that one is completely me. Oh, another one that can change flowers' colors. You want to see it?
Oh, one that does what?
Changes the color of flowers.
It's Down's favorite spell.
He hears a sigh. I'm not sure what to do now.
Well, I know what I'm going to do. I have a teleport spell ready, and I'm going to use it. Ta-ta! He teleports.
Quick, do Sentinel.
Sentinel. He's running away. Bap.
Bap. I'll allow you a Bap as he teleports away.
Okay, sure. That'd be an attack roll.
Sure.
And if you want to expose yourself.
Advantage, I think. since you're invisible.
He's the right.
Or does the invisibility break before you make the attack roll?
don't think it does.
I had it up. It just says if the target tries to attack or cast a spell, the spell ends early.
I guess it breaks before then.
I mean,
I'm still stealth though.
they
still
wouldn't
have
see
advantage
the
on
attack
stealth.
coming, so
I
Yeah,
suppose
the
it's
way
a,
Corvine
I suppose it's a
spell.
fair point. So all right, we'll go ahead and stick with it. You bap him good. You do the ow, and then vanishes.
Oh, he didn't roll a concentration?
this ain't no Pathfinder.
He passed.
No,
yeah.
concentration's a thing.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah,
thing.
it is a thing. It's just not on. It's just not on Sentinel. It's a Mage
Not-
Slayer thing. Not,
Also a
You
thing
don't have
based
to
on getting hit.
concentrate to cast a spell.
yeah, unless Mage Slayer is a thing.
Yeah.
And they hit you.
Well, that is something
Okay.
related but different.
Yes. I want it. Give me that.
Is a good
That
one.
said,
And the deer.
So wait, he teleported without getting his things back?
Oh,
To another city?
I mean, he's gone. As far as where he went, who knows?
Okay.
presumably somewhere else in rain. For now.
Or he's just convinced that they're gonna get his stuff back and teleport it to him or something. Either way.
Who can say?
So, Blackbird's gonna try and find